One. Welcome everyone to this edition of the Facebook Club. Tonight I'm here with Joey for this evening, and today we are going to start off the show with something that Joey just found out before we went on the air.
So the Mets have had a really bad game defensively where they made 6 errors. So I wanted to look up and see what the modern record was. You'd have to go back 123 years to 1903, where they weren't using gloves half the time. So the record for most errors by a team is 12. And this happened in the same game that the single game team record was set between two teams, between the White Sox and the Tigers, where they had 18 errors.
The White Sox?
No, combined.
Oh, okay.
The White Sox had 12 by themselves in that game over 120 years ago. The Tigers themselves had 6.
Dang.
So the modern record now is 6 errors in the infield by the Mets. They set that horrible record. But the most recent modern record for one player on a single play, you'd have to go back to 1988, and it is infamous for a number of reasons. Tommy John, the one who ended up being named after having his own surgery named after him, July 27th, 1988, against the Milwaukee Brewers. 3 errors on one play. It'll never be done again.
Not yet. No, I'm kidding.
The funny thing is, one player I think made 5 errors in a game, and I don't think they were all in one play, but it was actually ex-Diamondbacks manager Bob Brenly.
Oh.
He made 5 errors at third base in one game.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you don't see that ever.
Imagine if Kimbrel did that.
Yeah, we'll talk about him right now.
Go for
Unfortunately, today there was a incident involving Craig Kimbrel.
Yep.
Mr. 440 saves himself on his career, now on his 11th team in his age 38 season.
Yes.
The Tampa Bay Rays had the Royals down to their final out, were 1 out away from a no-hitter.
I thought it was 2 outs away.
2 outs away from their second ever no-hitter. And coincidentally, a walk to the second hitter in the inning, and then Craig Kimbrel gives up a 2-run homer. The Rays would go on to win 13-2, holding the Royals to just 1 hit.
Dang.
Well, you just add that to the list. So close so far.
I feel so bad for those pitchers. Oh man. So close.
The thing, I was watching one of their games years ago on MLB Network. It was Ryan Yarbrough when he was still pitching for him. He got pulled from the game. They were working on a combined perfect game, which has still never happened, by the way. I think many teams have come close, but it's so hard to do that.
Yeah.
Because once perfect games happen, after 10 innings, it is so rare that it continues. Because the 2 prime examples are, I think it was Pedro Martinez again when he was playing for Montreal in the mid-'90s against Bip Roberts. He gave up. Go ahead, David.
In extra innings, and I hear a lot of people say that should have been counted. But
no, if you can, because the record for the longest perfect game before it got broken up was Harry Haddix back in 1959 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was pitching against the then, I think they were still known as the Milwaukee Braves back then.
Mm-hmm.
He pitched 13 perfect innings. He lost it in the 13th. He lost it going into the next inning.
Huh.
It's considered one of the greatest performances ever, including Kerry Wood. But Harvey Haddix is known for that performance, and you don't see that happen. I doubt you see that happen ever again.
Never.
Because he had the modern record for that point. 12 perfect innings, and it's now been 77 years since then. May 26th, 1959, 36 up, 36 down, and then he lost on an unearned run. His career stats, he pitched 13 years and 8 extra days. He won 2 World Series, actually. One he won in 1960 with the Pirates, thanks to Bill Mazeroski. And he won as the pitching coach in 1979 for the We Are Family Pirates. So he won 136 games in the majors, a little over 1,500 strikeouts, but he's still known for that. Because Lou Burdett was on the other side, and he ended up not giving up anything either. It was nothing up until that point.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. He became just the 8th man at the time to pitch a no-hit, no-run, 9-inning ball game at the time. And then an E5 by Don Hoke in the bottom of the 13th allowed Felix Mantilla to reach first base. Sack bunt by Eddie Matthews. Intentional walk by Hank Aaron. Joe Adcock hits a 3-run homer. So they actually no. So here's the wackiest part of that story. I'll move on in a moment. But
yeah,
Adcock hits the home run. And what happens is Hank Aaron leaves the bases prematurely. He's passed by Joe Adcock for the second out. So Warren Giles, who was then the NL president, because there was presidents of the American League and National League back then. So Felix Mantilla's run was the only one that counted. And they won 1-0. So the Braves win 1-0 after all that. And excuse my language for saying this, but a guy from the Texas A&M fraternity, after he threw that game, said, "Dear Harvey, tough SHIT." He was mad until he realized that's exactly what it was. But still, 12 perfect innings. You'll never see that again. Because I know when I think about it, it's kind of like the unbreakable record. Like Pete Rose's 4,256 career hits, 1,406 stolen bases, 5,714 strikeouts, 56 games in a row with a hit.
Cal Ripken Jr.'s record.
2,632 games in a row.
Yeah, that's not going to happen again. What many players today get injured?
What's funny about that is the one guy who's been really good about it is Matt Olson, but I don't know if he's taken a day off yet. Because I know they played today, but I'm not sure if because I know he's at more than 600. And they played through 79 games today. Game 80 was today. So, game 81. Well, game 80 for them. But he's played in 79 of 80 games. He's played in all 79 so far. Including today, that'd be game number 80. He's 32 years old. He didn't come up until he was 22. He's had 4 consecutive years of playing in 100 or more 162 games. That's every game in a season. So that's 324. I'm not sure how many games that is in a row, but it's the longest one in a long time.
So you said we're at game 81 or so. We're almost there anyway. For baseball fans out there, if their team is out of it, what team should they follow for the rest of the season? Just to simply, you know,
Well,
find
the one I
peace.
think about the most right now, the American League Central Division, because that one's not over by a long shot. And you wouldn't believe who's in first place right now, by the way.
The Chicago White Sox, right?
Yeah, it's them in Cleveland. It's been years since anyone has talked about the White Sox being anywhere near first place.
So that
To
would be
which I
your
say, good.
so that
You
would be your
lose the
team.
most games in baseball history 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Last year, I don't know how many games they won last year, but right now, they are 3 games above 500. That is some kind of improvement if I've ever seen it. I've never seen such an improvement for a franchise in 2 seasons.
yeah.
They went from 41 and 121 to 60 and 102. They won 19 more games. They've already tied their win total from 2 years ago in 79 games. They've done that in 79 games.
That's amazing.
If I had to look, and it'll be a quick second because I want to see when exactly they got that 40th win last year. Because I know it took a while.
The
It
August.
took them till July 30th to win game number 40 last year.
Man.
They did it at home against the Phillies, on the road against at home against the Phillies in front of 12,718 people. That was it.
So that would be your team to follow for the rest of the season if
I
your
would
team.
say so. Honestly, I would say so because looking back on how bad that season was 2 years ago, where they had to have pretty much everybody be cleared out, to go from that to this, that's definitely saying something because I know guys who were still on that team from that year. I would be proud to be still on that team right now. Like, think about it this way, David. And I mean this. They lose Luis Robert. No more Luis Robert. He's in New York. No Eloy Jimenez. He's not there anymore either. Yoan Moncada? He's with Anaheim. Michael Kopech? Not there. Chris Sale? Gone. That's 5 big players you don't have. But this young group of players, there's so few of them that are still there.
Mm-hmm.
The one I think about most right now.
And Cliff Benintendi.
Yeah. He survived that. He stayed through all that with his contract. He's one of the only guys who was still there. Andrew Vaughn's no longer there. Lenville Sosa no longer there. Like their big guys who were supposed to be there are no longer there. I don't see Miguel Vargas. He's traded.
Still there.
Yeah. He is one of their best bright spots right now. And he got traded 2 years ago from the Dodgers. So he got a ring. But he was part of the Kopech trade. They got rid of Eric Fetty. They got rid of Tommy Pham. And all they got in return was Miguel Vargas, Alexander Albertus, and Jarrell Perez. But they got rid of Tommy Ed. They got rid of all kinds of things. But Vargas is 26. He's great. He's young. He's already surpassed his home run total. He's already got more walks than he did last year. This team's young, and it's going to go far if its pitching staff stays healthy. I'll leave it at that for the most part, but I am happy for Chicago right now. I'm very happy for that White Sox team because Brandon was talking about it recently too. This team
Hmm.
is good. Murakami's not even back yet. When Murakami comes back, they're going to be great. Like when I think of a team that's got bits and pieces everywhere, Brandon Montgomery, he's coming along a little bit slower because he's only had a small sample size. But the name that I didn't expect to be on a roster this year was Randall Grichuk,
Hmm.
ex Red Sox, I know. But he's actually been fantastic. He was playing with the Yankees, getting no playing time. He's gone 24 of 80 with 9 home runs, 4 doubles. He's already got 9 home runs. That's more home runs that he's got more home runs in 52 games than he did in 113 all of last year. He's batting 270 right now. So I figure as long as their offense is going and their pitching stays healthy, because the big one is their bullpen is not falling apart, and they got Eric Fetty back. So they won that trade, by the way. I haven't heard from Kopech. So that's the biggest thing is they won the Fetty trade. No Tommy Edman out there. He's over in the Dodgers system now. So the White Sox are
Yeah.
young and they're hungry and they're ready to win. So that's my team to watch at least.
They also have former Red Sox Kyle Teal on there as well.
Yeah, he's one of their catchers. He's only played 2 games for them, though.
Where is he now?
Well, he's on the bench. He's their third string catcher. No, second string. Actually, no. They've got Drew Romo, Reese McGuire, who's on the roster, and then they got Kyle Teal. So they've got 3 different catchers. They sent Edgar Curo down because he was hitting 187. So yeah, no, they've got a long way to go still, but they're getting there. They're getting there.
What's your thoughts about the other type of Sox, the Red Sox disaster future looking right now?
If I can look at Boston's roster right now, well, if I had to think about it, the Red Sox have headed in the wrong direction since, and I know beating the dead horse, since they let go of good old Rafael Devers. They had 32 and 46, and funnily enough, their manager is 7 games under 500 now in Chad Tracy. Why is the GM still the GM right now? Who's currently your chief baseball officer? Because guess what? The run differential speaks a different tale. The Red Sox are 38 and 40 based off their Pythagorean record. That's what they're supposed to be hypothetically, with a -7 run differential. After all those games where they were getting blown out, they're 32 and 46. Their best players are Cedar Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, and Wilson Contreras. After that, there's a massive drop off. It's Caleb Duran. And then after that, it's IKF, who's on the IL.
And there's Chapman.
Well, I'm talking about hitting right now, but still. There's the offense is there, but Narvaez hitting 200. Your backup catcher hitting 270 in 30 games. Tell me again why Carlos Narvaez is playing majority of the games and he's worth -2 WAR when Connor Wong is worth 0.9 wins above replacement. Why am I playing a guy like Yoshida who's hitting 242 in 52 games and he's got the same amount of home runs as Tatis Jr. does right now? I'm not sure if Tatis Jr. has hit another home run, by the way, in the time I've talked about this. But the biggest thing that go ahead, David.
You gotta ask Crep about that.
Well, my biggest thing right now is this. The rotation is all over the damn place. Brian Bello got sent down because he's so putrid right now. His strikeout rate is at a career low. His hit rate is at a career high. In 61 innings, he's allowed 78 hits. In the same vein, I'd like to talk about the other guys in the rotation. 36-year-old, and I reiterate, 36-year-old Sonny Gray, who they traded for, by the way, leads the league in wins. That is my favorite thing right now is Sonny Gray at 36 years old. Because I remember when he was a rookie in Oakland in 2012, pitching against the Yankees.
Oh, wow.
And pitching in the playoffs. That was almost 15 years ago now. So that was back when he was in his early 20s. He was 22 at that time. But that was the thing about Sonny Gray was he was this great kid. He was a first-round pick, 18th overall in the 2011 draft. He was in 2013 was his rookie season. With the A's, he was so great until he hit that wall in 2016, and the A's traded him halfway through the 2017 season. He has one good year in New York, one good year in Cincinnati, 5-3, 7-9. Moves on to Minnesota, where he finishes a combined 16-13 with an ERA just over 3 in just under 3 in 2 seasons there. He has this absolute crazy resurgence the last 2 seasons in St. Louis, where he's barely worth over 1 WAR. But again, color me impressed, because the guy has had a 3-season resurgence that even I can't believe. Because if he gets more run support, and I say this very nicely, if he gets more run support in Minnesota in 2023 when he's an all-star, he went 8-8 that year with a 2.79 ERA. He was worth 5.6 WAR. He finished second in Cy Young voting that year at an 8-8 record.
Wow.
But this goes to show he's got more wins than he did in Minnesota 3 years ago. He's got 20 walks. He's given him just 9 home runs. He's got a 2.4 walk ratio, 66 strikeouts. He's 9 strikeouts from 2000. Just 9. And his ERA is under 3. And keep in mind, the Cardinals are paying some of his salary for this season too. He's got $35 million this year. That's how much he was getting paid. And he's got a team option for next year with a $5 million buyout. So he may opt out of the contract if that option gets so that's a $30 million team option, by the way. And Richard Fitz has not played this season in the majors. Neither guy they traded for in St. Louis has played in the majors. So this is looking like a runaway. Very easily could be a runaway trade right now for the Red Sox. But that's the biggest problem in my book is their pitching. Because when I look down at their bullpen, Ryan Watson, 4.95 ERA. Danny Coulombe, who I also remember being in the A's bullpen long time ago. His ERA is in the 4.5s. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. 8 guys who are in the minors right now. One of which was your opening day starter, by the way. Peyton Toley's gotten no run support. That's why he's 3-5. But if I think about it this way, Crochet doesn't get injured. This is a better team. But the biggest problem is they're having to throw stuff at the wall and hope it sticks. Especially when they have to bring up a guy like Jake
Not
Bennett.
just him. Not just him. Roman Anthony.
Roman Anthony has been injured as well. Because that was the thing. They gave Bello that big contract of 6 years, $55 million, and he was only, and I say only, at the time 25. He's now 27. And the time since then, yeah, it's a complete 180, I would say, David. He went from 11-9 last year with 124 strikeouts. But here's the thing that disturbs me the most. Listen to the decretion of his stats. He struck out 29 less batters last year. His hit by pitches were higher. He faced 2 less batters. His ERA plus was up. But his fielding independent pitching was the same as the year before, even though his ERA was 3 1/3. So my biggest thing is it was in his stats the whole time. His strikeouts were down. His control problems were up because this season he only struck out 44 batters in 61 innings. He already had half of his hits allowed in about a little less than a third of the innings. So they need to get him situated because I don't know how he's been doing in AAA. AAA.
He pitched tonight, and he finally got out the first inning on Staples.
Well, I don't know how well he did tonight, but this is before that outing. 8 2/3, 12 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. ERA at 5.19 and 2 starts this season down there. Even when he pitched for the WBC, he had a better outing. But I can check real quick and see. Worcester.
By the way, Sonny Gray is pitching on Sunday Night Baseball this Sunday.
Well, I might be able to get to watch. So, Bayo had 6 strikeouts. It doesn't say exactly what he did, but it says he continues to trend in the right direction. So, why do I have to subscribe to read the freaking article, man? Come on.
I don't know.
Let me read the stupid thing. Can I please read the? No, I don't want to pay for this. Okay, well, let me read it. Good. Fine. Great. But I think he could do better because, unfortunately, that game ended up going to the 10th inning. So,
yes, it did.
Ended up in a 3-2 loss, but still, that's very big for what it was.
Yeah. When I saw him get out the first inning with no runs, I'm just like, finally better with this something right.
Oh, I got a whole bunch of. Never. That's.
By the way. What's his name? Bo Bichette is making his return to Toronto. Very soon. Well, as a visitor with the Mets. On Monday.
Well, nothing you can really do when you say, well, excuse me. But the biggest thing that I'm getting out of this is the Red Sox, they don't fire Alex Cora. I think things are definitely different right now. They were only 7 games under 500.
Yeah, you might be actually right on that, but Craig Breslow just wants to call the that number shots,
Oh, by the way, the Red Sox beat the Yankees. 6-3. So that's a step in the right direction. Chapman's going to be an all-star easily, and they beat Cam Schlitter.
Yeah, that pun.
8-4 with a 1.62. If you could beat the Yankees, no matter what over what it is, that's still impressive. Because Durbin hit a home run off him. Early had a great outing. Coulomb had a great outing. Only pitched to 1 batter, but still got him out. Whitlock's ERA is 2.81. Weissert came in and only gave up 1 run. That's progress. And Chapman allowed 3 base runners and still got out of the 9th. Came so close to blowing it. So close.
I actually have some sweet Weissert. I'll have to show you. Oh, something that
Let's
I
see
was
what
sent.
happened in that ninth inning. So, oh, Andrew Bailey got ejected tonight.
I didn't see exactly what happened because I was in Worcester, but
It was on a pitch that was supposedly at the knees, but the ABS system had it low, so he got ejected over
oh
it.
no.
Well, he didn't. They couldn't. They didn't challenge it because they knew the pitch was low. But walk, force out, single by Caballero. Schumann flies out to right. Goldschmidt singles to load the bases, and then Spencer Jones came in, pinch ran, and then Chapman pretty much sawed off. Oh, he got him with a sharp slider. He got it. Would have been strike 2 anyways, but he got Ben Rice to ground out back to him to end the game. So the Red Sox have 33 wins and 46 losses now. They're only 13 under 500. But the
I sent you.
Yankees did commit 4 errors in that game. That's what I'm talking about when I mean a mental lapse.
Mhm.
There was one game that's probably going to be made up later, and it was the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. So they're going to be playing theirs. But as I get to it, would you like to know who the All-Stars are?
Oh, it's beneficial.
Yes.
Okay, and before you do that,
Oh,
I
it's
sent you
not done
something.
yet. It's not done yet. Phase 2 begins
Oh,
at noon. So
okay.
this is the rest of the All-Stars. So
Before
Tani is the okay, go ahead.
I sent you something regarding Greg Weiser before you go over what you mean
Okay, let me
to
see. Let me see.
because I want your thoughts about this, and I think this is why he's still in the major leagues. But man,
Oh,
he's
he
still
can pitch
sucks.
with the bases empty, but not with runners on base. That's definitely fair.
Hmm.
But so the finalist for first base in the NL is Freddie Freeman and Matt Olson.
Okay.
So these are the finalists. AL first baseman Kazuma Okamoto and Junior Caminero, who had a 3-homer game today. He had 45 home runs last season. Another one, the outfield. Andy Pajes, Brandon Marsh, Ronald Acuna Jr., who's injured, by the way. Michael Harris II, Teoscar Hernandez, and Juan Soto. NL catcher, Will Smith, who is out right now, and Drake Baldwin, the rookie. AL first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Ben Rice. Ben Rice's OPS is 250 points higher than Vlad Jr.'s. NL shortstop is an interesting one. CJ Abrams and Mookie Betts. And then you have for the AL outfield, Aaron Judge, the injured Mike Trout, Byron Buxton, Cody Bellinger, Jesus Sanchez, and Dalton Varsho. So those are the ones. Oh, there's more. NL second base, Albies from the Braves and Bryson Stott. And then for third base, you have Max Muncy and Alec Bohm. AL catcher, this is a surprise. Shea Langoliers of the Sacramento A's and Alejandro Kirk for AL catcher. AL shortstop is Bobby Witt Jr., the obvious one, and Andres Jimenez for the Blue Jays. And then AL DH, this one's going to be kind of an easy one, but it's Yordan Alvarez and George Springer. So those are the ones thus far, but the ones that are already set in stone are Shohei Ohtani as the National League DH and Ernie Clement as the American League second baseman. So everything else is undecided.
I
I was very, very surprised to find out. Well, Trout and Acuna are already injured, so they're probably not going to make it. But that's
Mm.
just the way I see it. I don't see a reason to have these injured guys get the award and then they should be replaced.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's why they always have replacements, because if the All-Star game was like the Pro Bowl, because they do that for the Super Bowl guys who go to the Pro Bowl. They go to the Pro Bowl, and if they're playing in the Super Bowl, they get replaced by somebody else. That's why I
Hmm.
find it funny when with the World Series being after the season. It's very different. But the biggest thing right now is
Yeah.
I think Sonny Gray could easily, and I mean easily, be, I wouldn't say comeback player of the year, but he's in the Cy Young race at least. Schwarber's going to have another 50 home run season. He's already at 29. He's only played in 77 games. But my biggest issue right
Hmm.
now is he's already struck out 117 times.
Oh.
And in front of him is Zach Neto, who struck out 117 times and hit 17 home runs. Then James Wood from the Nationals, Kurtz from the Athletics with 111. Ian Happ has 106. Hunter Goodman has 104 already. Okamoto 102. Devers 101 with just 27 walks. And Spencer Torkelson has 101. Behind them, Montgomery 99, O'Neill Cruz 98, 96 for Duran, Austin Riley 93, Green 92, Willie Adames 91 strikeouts, just 18 walks. And then Pete Crow Armstrong, who's walked a third of the times he struck out. It's just an epidemic at this point because the leading walk guy is 73. And that's Kurtz for the A's. But he's still leading the league in on base, I think, with a 420. He's actually second behind Yordan Alvarez because he wasn't getting any hits in that Giants series, but still,
Hmm.
a 426 on base for a guy that's only in his second year in the majors. Very, very impressive. He'll never
Yeah.
he could be John Olerud if he just toned down the strikeouts a little bit. Just a little bit. But I think honestly there's a lot going on with a lot of these teams. Like most teams are overperforming, and the Mets, the Red Sox, and I was going to say Houston, but Houston has been overperforming lately. They just recently got into second place.
I never really saw them.
Today too. So
I never really saw them being out of the race. I just don't see them being out of it.
They are 40 and 43. With the A's winning, they're still in second place at 40 and 43. So there's that. But the big one is this. Oh, they already scheduled a makeup game for the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks on July 23rd. I think that's just going to be a normal game. But the Red Sox and the Mets, they're on two different courses right now. The Royals have their worst record in the league right now, in front of only the Tigers. And the only team that's close to 50 wins right now is Atlanta. And I don't think they were off. They were idle. So a lot of baseball to be played, but so far so good for most teams. But I didn't expect the Nationals to be 500 right now either. The Nationals are 41 and 41. They're currently in third place. Actually, no, that's the Nationals and the Mariners have the same record right now. And the Mariners did lose. But there's two teams I didn't expect to be good this year. The White Sox I expected to be better, but not in first place. And then the Pirates, who are 41 and 40.
Well,
but now that's all I got.
We all know what the Nationals did in 2019, so anything can happen. Especially with how bad the American League is right now.
Well,
And Aaron Judge being out too.
well, Judge was going to be out regardless, but that's all I got. That's all I got for
Yeah.
tonight.
And before we go, is Juan Soto still on the IO?
Apparently, he's supposed to be coming back. I saw something about that recently, but I'm not sure.
Because
He is he exited the Cubs game 2 days ago, day to day, and he returned to action as DH today.
like the day before
He
or
he
whatever,
tweaked his back, but he's playing as the DH, so he's good to go.
yeah.
But
And like the day after, what's it called? He got injured. Francisco Lindor came back, and I'm just like, is there something going on here? Am I missing? They're like, I don't think they'll like each other, but it's just like a
well, I hate to say it, but I think without Lindor, New York is a better team. But I
yeah,
think that's all the time we have for the baseball club
yeah.
tonight. Thank you, David, and thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.